Hello and welcome back to my channel. Today we are diving deep into the absolute phenomenon of a sports car that broke every single rule in the automotive industry. This is a car that became the answer to every driving question, the legendary Mazda Miata. Imagine walking into a world dominated by unreliable British roadsters and overpriced Italian exotics. Instead, a Japanese company known for family cars completely reinvented the entire formula of pure driving pleasure. It is small, it is affordable, and it is mathematically slow on paper, yet it somehow managed to capture the hearts of millions. It conquered global car culture like nothing else before or since. If you are new here, hit that subscribe button right now because we take deep dives into the absolute best automotive stories on the planet. Remember to check out the special links in the description below for exclusive content you do not want to miss. When you think of a car that delivers raw, unadulterated driving joy, your mind might instantly drift to roaring V8 engines. You might picture multi-million-dollar hypercars or precision-engineered German track weapons. But if you ask the world's most famously cynical, loud-mouthed, and brutal automotive journalist, Jeremy Clarkson, the truth is much closer to earth. Clarkson has driven everything from the Bugatti Veyron to the wildest Ferraris. Yet he famously wrote that the Mazda Miata is the only cure for a modern automotive world that has completely lost its mind. He once stated that the fact is that if you want a sports car, the Miata is perfect. Nothing on the road will give you better value, and nothing will give you so much fun. In his typical style, he argued that the only reason he does not give it 5 stars out of 5 is because it does not have a proper place for a man to put his dignity. But behind the wheel, he smiled like a schoolboy. The real paradox of the Mazda Miata, or the MX-5 as the rest of the world knows it, lies in its deliberate, unapologetic lack of raw numbers. We live in a world obsessed with 0 to 60 times, horsepower figures, and top speeds that nobody can ever actually reach on a public road. The engineers at Mazda looked at that entire high horsepower arms race and chose to completely ignore it. They focused instead on a traditional Japanese philosophy known as Jinba Ittai. This translates directly to the horse and rider as one single body. This means the car should not feel like a machine you operate, but an extension of your own nervous system. When the original NA generation debuted in 1989 with its iconic cheerful pop-up headlights, it packed a tiny 1.6-liter engine making just 115 horsepower. On a drag strip, a modern family minivan would absolutely smoke it. But the second you throw this lightweight machine into a tight, winding corner, the entire universe changes. To truly understand the genius of this car, you have to look at what the automotive landscape looked like back in the late 1970s and early 1980s. The classic, lightweight, rear-wheel drive British roadsters like the MGB, the Triumph Spitfire, and the Lotus Elan were dead or dying. They were beautiful and glorious to drive when they worked, but they were also famous for leaking oil, dissolving into rust, and completely failing to start if there was even a drop of rain in the sky. Mazda took a massive financial gamble by deciding to resurrect this dead segment, but they added a crucial weapon that the British completely lacked: world-class Japanese reliability. They built a car that gave you the wind in your hair, the rear-wheel drive tail happy balance, and the mechanical connection of a classic roadster. They delivered this with an engine that would start every single morning without fail for 300,000 miles. It was an absolute revelation that sent shockwaves through the industry. It left rivals scrambling for an answer they never truly found. This absolute focus on lightness meant that every single component of the car had to go through a strict weight loss program. The engineers did not just make a small car, they obsessed over grams. They went as far as placing the battery in the trunk just to achieve a perfect 50-50 weight distribution. Jeremy Clarkson, during his extensive testing of the various generations over the decades, always highlighted this exact weight distribution as the secret sauce of the Miata. He noted that because the car weighs barely over a ton, it does not need massive, heavy brakes. It does not need wide, expensive tires, and it certainly does not need an overly stiff, bone-rattling suspension. You can push the car to its absolute screaming mechanical limit while traveling at entirely legal speeds. You feel every single nuance of the tarmac, through the palms of your hands and the seat of your pants. In a modern supercar, you accelerate for 3 seconds and you are already facing a prison sentence. But in a Miata, you can drive like an absolute maniac and you are still only doing 40 miles an hour. That accessibility is exactly why the Miata created a global subculture that completely transformed the automotive world. It became the default choice for track day enthusiasts, amateur racers, and weekend cruisers alike. This trend eventually gave birth to the famous internet acronym, Miata is always the answer. If you want a cheap daily driver, Miata. If you want to learn how to drift on a budget, Miata. If you want to enter competitive wheel-to-wheel motorsport without destroying your life savings, the answer is always Miata. This universal appeal completely shattered the snobbery of the sports car world. It proved that you do not need a country club membership or a 6-figure bank account to be a true driving purist. Even as the generations evolved from the pop-up headlights of the NA to the curved lines of the NB, the wider stance of the NC, and the aggressive modern look of the current ND, that core philosophy never wavered. Yet, despite this global adoration, the Miata has constantly had to fight against a wave of shallow, superficial criticism throughout its entire existence. Because it lacks an aggressive, menacing design and focuses on pure balance rather than straight-line muscle, macho car culture often dismissed it as a toy or a hairdresser's car. This is precisely why Jeremy Clarkson's ultimate defense of the car carries so much weight in the community. Clarkson, a man who literally built his entire career on celebrating excessive horsepower, tire smoke, and raw masculine noise, looked past the cute styling. He declared it a masterpiece of pure engineering. He understood that the people who mock the Miata are usually the ones who do not actually know how to drive. They are the ones who rely on electronic driver aids and massive torque to make themselves look fast. A true driver recognizes that when a chassis communicates this clearly, you are experiencing the absolute peak of mechanical harmony. This is especially true when the manual gearbox shifts with the precision of a bolt-action rifle. As we look toward the future, we see an era dominated by heavy electric batteries, autonomous driving software, and digital screens that insulate you from the road. The Miata stands as one of the very last bastions of the analog world. It is a sharp, lightweight reminder of why we fell in love with driving in the first place. It acts as an antidote to an industry that is rapidly turning cars into rolling smartphones. Whether you find an old, bruised first-generation model for a couple grand, or roll off the lot in a brand new ND, the sensation remains exactly the same. You paid for zero distractions, zero pretension, and a direct line to the pavement beneath you. So where do you stand on this lightweight Japanese icon? Are you with Clarkson, believing that this little Roadster is the ultimate palate cleanser for the modern world? Or do you still demand big horsepower and straight-line speed? Let me know your thoughts in the comments section below. Before you head out, don't forget to hit that subscribe button to join our growing automotive family. Give this video a thumbs up if you love True Drivers cars, and check out the special links in the description below for exclusive content. Drop the top, drop a gear, and always remember what it feels like to truly drive. Take care, and we will see you in the next deep dive into automotive history.